Where are you on the ladder of life? Have you reached rock bottom? Have you been willing to give up everything in your life to put me first? Not because you are afraid, but because of your deep love for me. And you are longing to do my will and walk in my ways. Can you say, "Let your will be done," and mean it? And be willing to do whatever is asked from you, no matter how strange or foolish it may appear to be in the eyes of others. It takes courage and such deep inner faith and certainty that nothing will be able to throw you off balance. Only those souls who are strong will be able to follow this spiritual path. It is not for the souls who choose to go their own way and refuse to listen to the divine. There are no shortcuts in this spiritual life. You have to seek and find your own salvation. There are no shortcuts. And it is the path of the courageous. Very important. Point for us. And what gives you the courage to be on the path? The faith. As Ghiran Samhita will say, the faith in the process, the faith in the Guru, and the faith in the self. Faith in yoga as a process, faith in the Guru as an inspiration, and faith in you as a experiencer. Whichever is easier, start with that. If you have faith in the process, not so much faith in the Guru, no faith in self, doesn't matter. Start with that. If you don't know what the process is, but you have faith in the Guru, no faith in self, great, start with that. If you have no idea where the process is taking you, you absolutely don't trust the Guru, but you trust yourself, great, start with that. Whatever is accessible to you, start with that. But please start. And faith comes either via grace, straight away, or by pure experimentation. How do you confidently become a yoga teacher? By practicing, by teaching, over a period of time, by making mistakes, by integrating those mistakes in your process. Then a time comes when you are asked to teach anywhere, it doesn't matter, you go teach, you do your thing. But the first class, second class, you are scared. Because the faith in self is not there. What is there? Self-doubt. You see, self-doubt is opposite of self-trust. If our self-trust is 10%, self-doubt is 90%, that should be reversed. Imagine, if your self-trust is as big as your self-doubt, imagine, if it was opposite. If your self-trust was as big as your self-doubt, wow, you would have materialized so many things. But don't worry, there is always, the process has started, the process will end. And it only gets better from here. It only gets better. It gets better. It cannot get worse. Why it cannot get worse? Because you will not label it worse, you see. You will henceforth look at any calamity or challenge as learning experience. You are not giving it the weight that you used to. Simple. You are not giving it the weight that you used to. If 2 years ago the same incident would have happened, you would have created a mountain out of a molehill. Today, you keep a molehill. Why to make mountain? To create mountain out of a molehill, whose energy is wasted? Your energy. You know, when you start looking at yourself as a child of the God, or as an offspring of immortality, as they say in the Vedas, Amrutasya Putra. My goodness, if you read the Upanishads, wow, you get such self-esteem boost. You know what they call us? Us means humans. Amrutasya Putra is the child of immortality. Wow. If you are in depression, you read, who am I? Amrutasya Putraha. Immediately strength. I'm a child of immortality. No death. Deathless. And such an inspiration for us is Hanuman. And I wanted to talk today about Hanuman because today is his birthday. Hanuman Jayanti. The birthday of Hanuman. And I don't like that he is called elephant god. No, what is a monkey god? He was not god of monkeys. He was the son of the wind. Many mythological stories are there to his origin, but they say he was the child of the wind god. He was very powerful as a child and very naughty. When he was born, he was so naughty, mischievous and hungry that he was so hungry, and the mother could not satisfy his hunger with any fruits or whatever. So he was sitting and he saw this rising sun, nice orangish red, and he thought it's a fruit, and he jumped on the sun and started gobbling the sun, eating the sun. At that time Indra, the good for nothing god of the gods, lord of the gods, is really good for nothing, even mythologically useless. He's controlling my senses. That's where he is Indra. He's the lord of Indriya, senses. That's it. It doesn't go beyond that. That's why he's just made a king. Like sometimes you love politicians. You just make a face. A prime minister is just a face. The main government is run by someone else. This guy is something like that. Anyway, so Indra is worried. He got the complaint. So then Indra shot his, astra, or his weapon, thunderbolt, lightning bolt, and he injured, it struck his face, Hanumana's face. And that's why it's called Hanumanta. Manta means destruction or destroy or injury. And Hanu means chin. So the one whose chin is injured is a Hanuma. So his actual name is Hanumanta, but colloquially call him Hanuman. He's also known as Anjaneya because his mother's name was Anjani. And Pavana Putra. Pavana means wind god, Putra means son. So like this. But these are all stories of his origin. But Hanuman is an inspiration from the point of view of devotion, courage, single-minded focus. And surrender. Did I say surrender? No, surrender. Complete surrender. This is not like half surrender. Complete surrender. There are many stories. For example, he was completely devoted to his Lord Rama. So one day somebody asked that where does Rama reside? So he tore open his chest and showed him. Rama and Sita was inside his chest. He said, they live in my heart. I don't know their address, they live in my heart. Like this. This is a story to signify his devotion. But Hanuman was also very strong. And he had this power or siddhi. He had all the siddhis. He could become tall as the clouds and as short as a small ant. He could become as heavy as a mountain or as light as a feather. But in his early days he was so mischievous that some gods gave him like a boon or a curse and made his memory or his recognition of his own powers go away. So then for some point of his life he did not know he had those strengths. Those who don't want to approach Hanuman from this mythological angle say that Hanuman was a part of this Homo erectus, like one evolution lesser than us. We are Homo sapien, and whatever come before, I think Homo erectus. Perhaps that. Almost like uncivilized, you could say, uncultured, still living like a tribal life. So maybe he was not a monkey as such, but he was uncivilized. Like from the societal point of view, Rama and his kingdom was civilized people, civilized, educated. These guys were tribals, aborigines you may call them. So uneducated, not much intellect. And that perhaps worked in his favor. He was not blessed with intelligence. There is nowhere in the scriptures or in mythology that Hanuman argued with someone and logically defeated them. No. He's always lifting this mountain, killing that demon. He's always known for his Bahubali. He's always known for his strength and might. So if you had to fight some demon, call Hanuman. He was ready. Always. So he was strong. Not just strong, he was also courageous. There's difference. You may have strength, but you may not have courage. But if you have courage, you will have all the strength. So he was not only strong, but also courageous. He was not only big arms and huge oak tree-like chest, but he was also courageous, and that's why he volunteered to first enter kingdom of Ravana, the demon king, where nobody even could figure out how to venture into that kingdom. That is Ceylon, Sri Lanka. He was also an ideal of humility and surrender, as I told you. They say that once somebody, these are all stories, but they are beautiful stories. Once somebody was looking for Lord Rama, so somebody asked him, where does Rama stay? So he said, there. Hanuman was sitting there. So, okay, there, but how does Rama look? So Hanuman says, sorry, I cannot help you with that. So why? You are, every day you hang out with Rama, you don't know how he looks? He says, no. My place is at his feet. And my eyes are at his feet. I have never seen his face. Feet is a sign of... To be at somebody's feet is a sign of humility. So, it's a story saying that I don't know his face, I don't need to know his face because my head is at his feet and that's why my eyes are at his feet. You ask me how his toes look, I can tell you. But don't ask me how his face looks. Hanuman is a beautiful example of devotion, of courage, of surrender, of strength, of humility. More so of devotion. And what beautiful is in Hanuman's life is that he is not blessed with so much intellect. So all he can do is open his heart. When he finds his Lord, he opens the heart, his story is over. Finish. There is no, that's why for many people who are not blessed with so much intellect, Bhakti is a good path. Don't have to argue. They will say, don't talk about philosophy. It will take us to the same place. Even in Narad Bhakti Sutra it is written, a bhakta should not engage in unnecessary debates. It doesn't take you anywhere. Debating about God will not bring you love of God. Simple, no? So God is like this, but real God is somewhere else. So let us pray to Hanuman. Many people say he was known for his strength, but his real strength was in his devotion. We should not forget that. He had muscles. He could lift mountains. But as Jesus Christ said, if you have faith, you can tell the mountain, move thither, and it will move. Exactly applicable to Hanuman. Because his surrender and faith in Lord Rama was so much that if he has to lift a mountain, he just lifts a mountain. That's it. No questions asked. He will not say, oh, but I am just a monkey, how can I lift a mountain? No. Am I supposed to lift a mountain? Yes. Okay, lift. Done. And it's possible. For us also possible. Now don't try tomorrow with that mountain. It's not that mountain. Don't go and straight away. Start small. Start with pebbles. Don't start with Chowkhamba, 7,300 meters. No. Mountains of challenges can be moved by faith. Mountains of sufferings can be extinguished by faith. How much ever mountain of challenges you give me, if I have faith, sort it out. So that is Hanuman. Let Hanuman guide us. sometimes. Did you see that Kalinath in front of the temple? He was not there. Bhairavi was there. His consort was there. No, we saw when we met Shaninath, the Hatha Yogi down. He had a poster of Hanuman with 5 heads. Did you see? Otherwise, you look into the photos that you took. You will see behind Kalinath there was a calendar of Hanuman with 5 heads. It's a very special Hanuman. It's called Panchamukhi. Panchamukhi Hanuman. He has 5 heads. Just a representation. Each head facing each direction. East, west, north, south and zenith. So people who have some difficulties will use that 5-face Hanuman and things like that. There are other different things. But what is important is to look at these characters in mythology and get inspired by their lives, their stories, their behaviors. Just like Ganesha, people chant Hanumana's mantra for strength. Ganesha for exams and things like that. But like for your PE exam, you will chant Hanumana's mantra. For math exam, Ganesha mantra. Like this. No, really. People buy a new car, they will chant Ganesha mantra. People want to lift some load and all, they will say Jai Bajrang Bali, like this. Really, I'm not joking. While shifting your furniture, you will call upon Hanuman. Say Jai Bajrang Bali and then push. Like many people, no, and the truck is stuck in the mud. So they know exactly which God to invoke. So villagers will gather 10-12 people and they are pushing the truck outside the ditch. So they will not say, Om Namah Shivaya. No, Shiva has nothing to do there. It's a God of strength. If you call Shiva for such frivolous things, then he will burn the whole universe. So Hanuman is the best. Jai Bajrang Bali, they will say, and push. So strength comes. Why in the mind? See, in the mind you have this analogy. No? Strength means Hanuman. Okay, so 10 people pushing the truck out of the ditch in unison saying Jai Bajrang Bali. Immediately the truck will also pull itself out. Not just the people. Okay. So remember Hanuman. Usually they don't discuss about him. But some places in the West he is very famous. Nowadays they do Kirtan of Hanuman and all that. Nowadays in yoga world, Kirtan is very famous in the West. So now because of Neem Karoli Baba, there was one saint in the last century. And I think Ramadas, they sing, no? Krishna Das's guru, Ramadas, he was Neem Karoli Baba's disciple. And Neem Karoli Baba was the devotee of Hanuman. So that way Hanuman got into the modern yoga world. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the milk to come. Since the moon is not visible, but moon is always there, we will keep at least we'll drink the milk. We'll keep the milk here and somewhere the Soma will enter from the window and then we will drink it. Okay. Now, we had this query about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called. Mahaprabhu means the great Lord. And Chaitanya composed a very, very beautiful poem of sorts or reminder of sorts for students called Siksastakam. Siksha means study. Pedagogy. Ashtakam means 8. So 8 verses of study for students. It's like moral, sort of, not like moral code of conduct, but like tips, his tips for people who want to create some reverence for Krishna and live in that kind of way. So I have just jotted down the first 3 verses because it's pretty long and the Sanskrit is also pretty, I mean from the language, from the composition itself you know that Chaitanya was a scholar. From the Sanskrit language itself you know that this guy was not some spontaneous poet. The language, you know that. Like, if somebody MA in English becomes a poet, his language will be different. And some school dropout becomes a poet. He will be a great poet. A school dropout will be a fantastic poet. But there will be some language difference. So Chaitanya's language is like that. It's splendors, but Sanskrit is little. For that time, his Sanskrit is like proper. So we will, I will sing the first 3 verses and perhaps explain you a little the context. So close your eyes and tolerate my singing. There's a beautiful, actually, it is sung in many different tunes, but one tune that I like is that it's a very popular tune in the West by, I think it's a band called Gauravani or something. And so I'm just picking up their melody and singing it. Okay? So close your eyes. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनम् भवमहाद्वाग्नि निर्वार्पणम् श्रेया कैरवा चन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दां बुद्धिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वत्मस्तपना सर्वात्मस्नपना परम विजयते श्री कृष्णा संकीर्तनम् परम विजयते श्री कृष्णा संकीर्तनम् नाम कारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्र अर्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममामि दुर्दैव मृदिशमिहा जनिनानुरागा परम विजयते श्रीकृष्णार्संकीर्तनम् परम विजयते श्रीकृष्णार्संकीर्तनम् तृणादीनां Tadapi Sunichena Taro Iva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadeva Kirtaniya Sada Hari Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. These were the first three verses of Siksastakam. It's basically glorifying Krishna and saying how taking the name of the Lord will benefit all of us. So I will just roughly translate. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadvagni nirvapanam means Cheto darpanam marjanam. The one who wipes the mirror of my consciousness. Darpana means mirror. Bhava mahadvagni nirvapanam. And he douses the fire, the flame of bhava means the worldly mundane life. Shreyaha kairava chandrika vivaranam vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam. The one who is splendorous like the rays of the moon, and vidyavadhu jivanam. It's like the company of with whom is like spending your whole life with a wise wife. Ananda buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. The name of whom immerses me in ananda, bliss. Pratipadam Purnamruta Swadanam. Padam means every word that I speak of him is Purna Amruta Swada. Means Purna means complete. Purna, complete. Amruta means nectar. Swada means taste. Every word I utter about him is fully tasteful, like tasting the most sweetest of nectar. आइए इधर रख दो बीच में. थैंक यू.
नीचे कप रखे बारिश हो रही.
हाँ पता है. ठीक है. थैंक यू. सर्वात्म स्तंभनम means who cleanses everything. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam means Param Vijayate means supreme victory, supreme joy to Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Means now we are doing Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Sankirtan means singing together the praise and glory of Lord Krishna. So, Param Vijayate means nothing can be more glorious than singing together the glories of Krishna. That was the first para. Second para. Nam Kari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. You have many names, and each name is more powerful than one. tatrarpita niyamita smarnena kala. I diligent surrender to your names or remembrance of your names is essential for many. Etadrushi tava krupa bhagavan mamami means through your names, the one who takes your names, you bestow all the krupa, means blessing, grace. Durdaiva midrashimiha janinanuraga. Unfortunately, I am not interested in your names. Remember the word raga? Sukhanushay raga. The raga means attachment. I am not attached to your names. I don't care. People call you Krishna. People call you whatever, Madhusudana. I am not here your devotee for your names. Trunadapi sunichena. I explained this in the morning. Like a blade of grass. Sunichena. Humble than the lowliest of grass. Taroiva sahishnuna. Tolerant like a tree. You go out, there was a storm 2 days ago, so much rain, so much landslides, tree is still standing. Why? It is tolerant. So blade of grass is moving, tree is standing. So mobility, stability, both are essential or are bestowed upon thee when you take the name of Lord. Amanina manadena. Now this is what was asked. Amanina. Mana means pride. Amanina means without pride. But manadena, honor, give honor. See, pride, honor is almost the same. So he says, don't be proud, but give honor to those who deserve. Kirtaniya sada hari. One of my favorite lines in this. The rest is hyper Sanskrit. Kirtaniya sada hari. Means, sada means forever. Kirtana means Kirti means glory. So Kirtana means to sing the glory, to sing the praise. Kirtaniya sadahari. So keep forever, keep singing the glories of Hari, the Lord. The third, as Tom pointed out, the third paragraph is very much applicable for us. The rest, I will tell you honestly, the rest are for those who are very staunchly devoted to Krishna. And that you have to wait for love to happen. I mean, you have to wait to fall in love with Krishna, otherwise it's just a text. But this third one, is important. The third one is applicable to everybody. Humble like the grass, tolerant like a tree, without pride but giving honor, sing the praises of the glory, sing the glory of the Lord forever, whenever. His name on your lips. That's it. The third verse is universally applicable. Kirtaniya Sada Jesus also is okay. Kirtaniya Sada Shiva is also okay. Kirtaniya Sada Hanumanta is also okay. Kirtaniya Sada Shakti is also okay. Kirtaniya Sada Ganesha is also okay. It doesn't matter. They will not fight in heaven. This is where it is very applicable. See, there is this joy, That joy is, even when a bhakta cries, still joyful. You have to let the bhakta cry, the devotee cry. It's not sadness. When the devotee is crying, just let him be. And that's why I really believe that Hatha and Bhakti, which I don't see as separate, as I told you before, that Hatha Yoga is almost Bhakti Yoga. Hatha and Bhakti are the path for this age. Hatha because of starting the orientation from the body itself, because Hatha Yoga is the only path that gives importance to physical body. So let's get real, and we need to give importance to the body, because in our day-to-day life, what is happening? The body is either reprimanded or narcissism is happening. Nobody is talking about body in a moderate, normal, simple way. You are either abusing the body or praising the body too much. We have lost that moderation towards body, and Hatha Yoga can get us back to that. And Bhakti, because you know what, Karma Yoga is a good path for nowadays, but as variety increases in life, then your karma, options of karma also increase, so it can get confusing. Like, I want to be a yoga teacher. So the first thing is, what kind of yoga teacher? This was not a question even 20 years ago. What style was not a question even 20 years ago. Bhakti, why? Because when everything gets confusing, your confusion can lead you to utter hopelessness, and that utter hopelessness can bring you to devotion. Or, God is the only way. You go there. So a devotee is always happy. If the devotee is sad because of the world, what does that mean? The trust is not total. Simple. If your trust is total in the divine, sadness should not even be your agenda. If you call yourself devotee, then worry should not even be a word in your dictionary. Simple. There is nothing to worry when you are with Sri Hari. Absolutely. Isn't it? If you call yourself devotee, you go to the temple 10 times, you do your puja, you do your japa, and when the situation is in crisis, you are worried. What does it mean? That means when you should use your faith in God, you don't. You take up the whole worry. Oh, why to disturb God? He is already managing 7 billion people. You think God has not the strength to manage more than 7 billion? He has some limit. That's why in the path of bhakti, the enlightenment is described in a beautiful way. As a hug by the Lord. Nowhere they describe enlightenment as a hug. This is the romanticism of Bhakti Yoga. In the morning I sang, Prema rase baisali mithi, avadi lathi mukhasi. Remember? From Sant Tukaram. I know I sang to him. I gave many names, but Saint Tukaram. Tukaram says, Prema rase baisali mithi, avadi lathi mukhasi, avadi lathi mukhasi, आता कोठे धावे मन, तुझा चरण भेटिलिया. Means, आता कोठे धावे मन, where will my mind now run? तुझे चरण देख लिया. I have seen your feet. Prem rase baisali mithi means out of this beautiful eruption of love, I got embraced by you. See, who will describe enlightenment like this? Avadi lathi mukhasi. Avadi means I love taking your name. Even after enlightenment, no? So it's not like done. Now, bye bye God. Now I will chill on a hammock. Not like this. No, it can be like that, no? Done. No? But like in Zen. In Zen, what they do? Master is sitting here, all the disciples are there. When the disciple is enlightened, he has to roll the mat and get up. No thank yous, hey, party, nothing. Master will come, one mat is not there. Maybe in Zen, not even smile. So it's done, his work is done. You are not supposed to leave. It's not like, oh, he did not pay the fees, so his mat is not there. Not like this. Your mat should be rolled only when you are enlightened. Otherwise the mat is there for whatever, 40 years, 50 years, whatever time it takes. They also have their logic. After enlightenment, who's guru, who's a disciple? But in yoga it doesn't happen like this. Even when the disciple is enlightened, he is still the disciple of the guru. So that humility is still maintained. And that's why Tukaram says, Bhag gela kshina ghela avagha jhala ananda. Means my pride is lost, my laziness is lost. Avagha jhala ananda means only bliss is remained. So you see how beautifully he writes about his enlightenment. Hug. And not just him, many Christian saints have mentioned embrace of Christ as their divine experience. Especially women saints, lady saints. Why? Because for a woman, bhakti is a natural path. I personally don't know of any philosopher saints, lady saints in India. Most of the women saints I know in India are all bhaktas. All. Why? Because devotion is a feminine aspect. Karma is a masculine aspect. Jnana, it's wrong on my part to call it masculine and feminine. But that the creative aspect, bhakti is just overflowing. The intellect will flow like this, bhakti will flow anyhow, here or there. So for a woman, bhakti comes naturally. It just overflows. And even when the bhakti comes in the man, he moves more into the feminine aspect. That's why there is, nowadays I read many blogs that say that women were not allowed to practice yoga. There's a big debate online goes on, and people write and and they bash. But I'll list you 20. Go to South India. Akka Mahadevi, Malleshwari, there's so many women saints, total bhaktas, all. And the beauty is, even though socially women were oppressed, they became saints. And this is the beauty. Why beauty? Because oppression was from the society, not the spirituality. Husband troubled them. They went closer to God. Society ostracized them. They went closer to God. Where else will they go? Imagine, let's assume, a woman beaten up by the husband, kicked out by the husband from the house, totally helpless, completely surrendered to God, became a saint, done. So the whole societal affliction worked for her. My Hazrat Baba Jan, my dear grandma, means I call her grandma for all other reasons. I mean, that little girl of 12 left Iran, Gulrukh. Imagine, left her house at age of 12. For what? Don't know. What happens? After 80 years, reaches Pune. Sits under a tree. That's it. By that time, she was already a Kutub. Kutub means the highest. In Sufism is the highest. Mahatma. By that time, she was already a Kutub. Lived like a beggar. When I have been to her place. Lived like a beggar. People used to throw stones on her. Little kids, because she was like a beggar lady. But one day she called a man, come. He came, kissed him on his forehead. He was in his samadhi for 9 months. That man came out of samadhi and became the famous Meher Baba, one of the very famous mystic of the last century. So imagine her power. He was riding a cycle. He was going. She was in the street, sitting under a tree. He was riding a bicycle. She called him, come. He came. Kissed him on the forehead. Gone. 7 months he was. 7 months Meher Baba had to be fed by somebody. Because he was in such a state of samadhi and he had absolutely no body consciousness. One kiss. That is a kiss. If you want to be kissed by anybody like never, this is a kiss. That one kiss changes life. Not like our ordinary kisses. Doesn't even raise heartbeat. That is a kiss. Don't settle for less. If you want kiss in life, like my Hazrat Babajan. One kiss off for 9 months. Then comes out and that's it. He declares, Meher Baba comes out of samadhi, declares I am enlightened and does his work. And this man, after his enlightenment, he was silent. He's called a silent saint. He never spoke. Imagine. He did all his work. He traveled around the world. He gave lectures. You know how? He had a slate. People would ask him question. He would quickly write and show. Quickly write. Not write, sorry. He had a alphabet like a board. And just like a typist, he would go write his answers. After his enlightenment, never spoke. For what, 45, 50 years, never spoke. Meherwan, Irani, his name was, became Meher Baba. That's the case. And all this Bhakti Sampradaya in Maharashtra started with Jnaneshwar, Saint Jnaneshwar. At the age of 21, he said, my work is over, I am going. And he asked people, his devotees, to make a small, like an underground cave. He went there, he asked to lock the cave with a rock, sat in samadhi, left his body. Imagine. At the age of 21, Imagine at the age of 21, you declare, my work in this world is over. And such saints give me complex. Same with this 32. At the age of 16, he had already going. At the age of 16, he had already finished his work. Then Vishnu came and Vishnu said, no, you are doing such good work, I will make it double. And so he went in 32. And went means how? You know, we talk about Badrinath. Badrinath is just close from here. He established 4 mathas, means monasteries in 4 corners of India. Imagine, that's why I love this man. He was not only a scholar, not only a mystic, not only a saint, but also an able administrator. At the age of 11 or 12, he started debating scholars across India. And that time the custom was, I and Twyla. Twyla is a scholar in one aspect of philosophy. I am a scholar in Advaita Vedanta. That's his method. So we will both argue. And we argue till, like the word WWF, wrestling. We argue till somebody concedes defeat. And how? Not logical argument. I have to give, for every argument I have to give the references from the Vedas. So not like logically, but this you made, no. So he'll say, da. How do you know this? Because the Rig Veda says this. Okay. But the Yajur Veda also says ta. No, but your interpretation is wrong. Because this has been again summarized in Rig Veda, ta. So much you have to, philosopher. No? So the whole of India he defeated. And then, after he had the whole of India in his grasp means converted all scholars of India to his system of philosophy, he kept 4. He had 4 disciples. You remember in the temple there were 4 disciples around him. Each disciple he appointed east, west, north, south. And in the north, which is near Badrinath, and there's a place called Joshimath, and he appointed one monk there, and then he renounced everything, and then he went to Badrinath. Well, went means he disappeared in the mountain. At age of 32. So these guys, Jnaneshwar 21, Shankaracharya 32, Jesus 33 and a half. I mean, it's high time we started doing something with our lives. Anyway, but just from the hug point of view, today our talk is about hug. Why? You know why? Because you must have seen that famous poster, no? Rama hugging Hanuman. It's a beautiful poster. It's a beautiful picture. Hanuman and Raman embrace like this. So beautiful. As you see, it must be there on the internet. So beautiful. You see Hanuman and Ram embracing each other. And you can see that devotion in Hanuman's eyes and love in Rama's eyes. So same is said by Saint Dnyaneshwar. What does he say? Dvaita cha goshti harapalya shevati vishwa rupe mithi det hari dekhilege maaye मी माझे मोहित राहिले निवांत एक रूप तत्व Dekhilege Mai, Dekhilege Mai. Means Dvaitacha Goshti Harapalya. Dvaita means duality. Goshti means stories. Stories of or episodes of duality are Harapalya means gone now, demolished. When? Shevati Vishwarupe Mithi Detahari. When did the episodes of duality disappear from my life? When finally the divine form of Vishnu or Hari embraced me. See, again embrace. Again he is talking embrace. Then Tukaram in 16th century spoke about embrace from Lord Vishnu. Now Jnaneshwar in 13th century talking about embrace from Lord Vishnu. So the enlightenment for a bhakti yogi or a devotee is not something bland. It's very, very romantic, very, very joyful. It's the hug of the Lord. So, till the Lord gives actual hug, visualize yourself in the hug of the Lord. What's wrong with that? Don't we do that for normal lovers? Oh, I wish he hugs me. Never, doesn't even look at you. But we imagine, one day he will hug me. He just goes away. He doesn't even know you love him. We imagine, for mundane, normal humans. So why can't we imagine that for the Lord? If you want to create relationship with God, select the most lovingest form to your heart. I'm giving you now strategy. Exactly like you get infatuated with opposite sex. You are single. Then what happens? Any nice looking man you see, maybe one day. Same. So you are single. Means from the devotee point of view, I am single. So who attracts my heart? Not sure about Krishna. Don't know. Shiva is too machismo for me, though he is not. Ganesha. Okay, he's cute, I like him. Okay, fine. No, really. It's called Ishta. Ishta means close to the heart. So now Ganesha. So how do I know? So read Ganesha's stories. Look at his picture. Exactly like when you, what you call that? Stalking somebody, no? On Facebook. When you stalk somebody on Facebook. Exactly like that. So you are fond of Ganesha, so you look at Ganesha's photos, different photos. Then you read about his stories and allow the love to build up. Just like normal. Sometimes we are fond of somebody and then because of constant remembrance of that fondness, love blossoms, no? Same way. Constant remembrance of the Lord. One day, I'm in love. Done then. Then your legs will go to the temple. For nothing, It's like you're visiting your boyfriend. For what you came? Your boyfriend is asking you. You say, why? I just came. Okay. So when you go to the Lord, you have no reason. You will not say, I came to give 100 rupees to the priest. No. You just go. That's the difference. Rituals may not promote devotion. But if you are devoted, rituals will happen. And even if they don't happen, doesn't matter. You can be a devotee sitting anywhere under a tree, your temple is there. But if you are not a devotee, even going to the temple will do nothing. Like in India, many people will go to temples. You know why? To sleep. If you go to any random temple in India in afternoon, you will see people. It's good. I mean, literally, like in Bible, Christ says, "Come to me, and I will make your load lighter." No? In Christ says in Bible, literally like that. They come to the Lord and Lord. There are so many, and some people are so shameless. They put their towel and sleep straight away, and nobody says anything. That's the beauty. Nobody will say anything. And some people best. When I was working, 10, 12 years ago, I used to leave home very early in the morning, and my house was very far. So I had some teaching assignments in the morning and then teaching assignments in the evening. Nobody wants to do yoga or train in the afternoon. So then I did not go home. I used to go to an ashram or a temple, and I used to meditate. So then, that time I used to see all these games. That's why they are very vivid in my memory. People used to come to the Ramakrishna mission there near my house. And it's a big temple hall, and it's always open. They have specific timings, but in the afternoon it's open and people come and meditate. Most people come there, they will sit on the chair. I mean, I'm not blaming them, but maybe that's the only place they can go to and feel completely relaxed. And the next thing you know, they're sleeping. Who wants to meditate? Their system doesn't want to meditate. Their system wants to sleep and rejuvenate. System is not going to say meditate. System is going to say, forget meditation. First, let us rebuild your tissues. So good things are happening. So slowly, walk in the path of bhakti, because ultimately that is going to save you. Asanas and all are nice. They are important. But ultimately faith will save you. On the judgment day, even if you do handstand in front of God, your seat on whatever vehicle comes on judgment day will not help you. Your faith will get you a seat, not your handstand or some ultra flexible pose. So you can build your devotion even in your asanas. Build devotion in pranayama. Build devotion in day-to-day life. That's why affirmations are important. Once the affirmation logs into your head, then you can go for mantras. That's why I've told you about affirmations. Because mantras are important. But you know what? If you don't have a natural inclination towards the divinity, then mantras will not work. Means, I give you mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You have no clue who is Krishna, you have no clue who is Ram. You know who is Krishna, that blue guy. You know who is Ram, the other blue guy. But no devotion. Then what will happen? Then your sadhana, your chanting will feel like a chore. And bhaktas don't do chores. And that's why I am insisting that first start with affirmation. Let your system get used to chanting. Then till then, creates a little love, little adoration, little fondness towards the Lord, whichever Lord of your choice. Can be Shakti, why not? We saw all the temples till date, all Shiva temples have Shakti there. Feminine principle has to have, cannot be without. Purusha has to have a Prakriti, and Prakriti will be useless without Shiva or Purusha. Then once your heart beats for the Lord, then what will happen? Then nobody have to tell you, do 20 malas, okay? Because 19 malas, the Lord will be angry. then nobody can manipulate you. Today, if you do 18 malas, you will still be happy. At least I remembered my Lord for 18 malas. You will not be forced to do 20 malas. Or you will be so much carried out in your love that somebody will ask you, how many malas do you chant? I don't know. You don't know? You say, no. Once I start chanting, chanting happens. You will not keep a record. That's why many people will keep a record. I chant 100 malas a day, It says nothing about your devotion. Any monkey can also chant 100 malas a day. Chanting, japa with bhavana, as Patanjali says. Tad japa tada artha bhavana. Meaning and bhavana, meaning and emotion need to be woven in to the practice of japa. Otherwise useless. If there is no devotion, there is no heart, there is no fondness towards the name that you're chanting, it's useless. So invest some time in falling in love with your presiding deity, with the loving, fond deity. And then name chanting will happen. Otherwise it is punishment. This is what I feel. And just taking names will not make you fall in love with the God. This is very sure. Just taking names will make you will counter your devotion. You go to the temple with devotion in your heart, and then the chanting, the japa becomes so much of a chore that you say, forget it. That should not happen. Okay? So remember this. Good.